MrBeast has given away millions of dollars, cars, planes, and even a giant chocolate factory in his massive challenge videos, but where are his biggest prize winners today? Starting with MrBeast's older brother, CJ. On August 31st of 2019, Jimmy posted a video where he challenged CJ to spend $100,000 in 24 hours.
$100,000 in credit cards right here. You have 24 hours to spend the $100,000.
Let's go, guys!
With this money, his brother bought everything he would need to be just as big as MrBeast, like camera equipment, a studio, and even his own team. But he didn't stop there. He would splurge on himself, buying a brand new truck and giving away thousands of dollars to strangers. At the time, it seemed like CJ was going to be the next MrBeast. However, just 3 years later, and CJ is nowhere to be seen. But why did this happen? Well, at first it was actually going pretty well and CJ was getting a couple million views every single video. However, most of the comments were complaining he was just copying MrBeast. Upon further inspection, they may have a point. His content just seemed like a watered down version of MrBeast's, from the size of the challenges, the quality of his editing, and even his thumbnails. Although his channel sits at a massive 4.28 million subscribers, he hasn't uploaded in over 2 years, and it's safe to say he was a YouTube failure. But nothing could prepare you for the bittersweet victory of MrBeast's most viral video ever, the 456,000 Squid Game in Real Life prize winner. The challenge began with Jimmy posting a TikTok saying if he were to get 10 million likes, he would recreate the Squid Game in real life, and unsurprisingly, the goal was broken with ease. Jimmy would then randomly select people from the comments to compete, and one of them would end up being Cam. The contest consisted of several challenges inspired by the actual Squid Game show, which was fought by 456 individual contestants. After a long fight, the competition was narrowed down to 2 contestants who would fight till their last breath for the final seat in a match of musical chairs, and eventually Cam would be crowned the winner. He would take home a massive cash prize of $456,000, and as you would expect, Cam was overtaken by joy and could barely contain himself. His joy would soon turn into sadness, however, when several of Cam's closest family members and friends would begin reaching out to him asking for money and exposing their true colors. Despite this, Cam went on to say he was planning on using the money to help his family and community, and was even able to build up a sizable TikTok following in the process. But even Cam's massive success story pales in comparison to the time MrBeast gave away an entire island to Chandler after he came on top in the last to leave $800,000 island keeps it video. Similar to the Squid Game, the competition consisted of several mini challenges in which the loser of each challenge would be eliminated one by one. The challenges included an island-wide game of hide and seek. All the participants would get 300 seconds to pick their hiding spots, and MrBeast would then scour the entire island, and the first person he found would be eliminated. And after several more challenges and eliminations, the contestants were narrowed down to just 2. Carl and Chandler. And the time finally came for the last challenge that would decide who would be crowned the winner of the $800,000 island. But this final challenge had a bit of a twist. All the eliminated contestants were called back onto the island to participate in a voting system, in which they would vote for who they believed deserved to be crowned the winner. And for the first time in the challenge, the fate of Carl and Chandler was no longer in their hands. After a nail-biting, incredibly suspenseful build-up, it was a draw, and everyone was in complete shock. Jimmy would reluctantly admit that he didn't have a backup plan, but suddenly came up with the idea to do a sudden death round of voting to break up the tie. MrBeast would take all the votes, throw them in a box, shuffle them around, and randomly select someone to pull one last vote out of the box, and the name selected would win the island and be crowned the winner. Ironically, the contestant who was eliminated in the first round was chosen to decide their fate. As the contestant pulled out the vote, Chandler and Carl sat in extreme suspense until it was announced that Chandler had won the challenge. And in an instant, he bursted out in total euphoria, ripping the shirt off his body, running around, barely able to contain his happiness, while Carl was distraught. But after this video was posted in August of 2020, the island was never mentioned again. Until just 1 month later, Airrack would abruptly drop a video titled "I Stole MrBeast's $800,000 Island," where he would say he snuck onto the island and was issuing a challenge to Chandler in any activity of his choice, and the winner would keep the island. About 1 week later, Chandler would drop a video to explain his situation, claiming he was forced to sell the island because he was being charged hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes from the government just to keep it. It's clear MrBeast has exhibited the virtue of charity by giving away millions of dollars to his fans, but if you want to learn more about the 5 deadly sins of YouTubers, click right here. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys next time.